Today, I am with module 3 of your course, Engineering Economics, Estimation and Costing. And in this module, we have to learn different subtopics like economics, managerial economics, its concept, nature, and other subtopics. So let us start with the definition of economics. What is economics? When we are dealing with scarce resources, then we have one problem also there, that there are so much needs and wants from the human side. And if there is wants and desire from human side in our society, but again there is presence of scarce resources which is not in abundant nature. So here the study of economics is fulfilling such management, such achievement with that scarce resources against the wants and desire of any person. So overall, economics is the study of how human beings in a society go about achieving their wants and desire. There are so much wants and desire. Every person has some desire. Human being is called as the person who is satiating, and every day they want new thing. But since we have scarce resources in terms of land, capital, or labor, so here there is the need of study of economics. So economics is the study of how human beings in a society go about achieving their wants. It is also defined as a study of allocation of scarce resources to satisfy individual wants and desires. How any economist allocate scarce resources. Actually, scarcity is in the center of economics, and if we deal with three problem of scarcity, then there is some typical questions which any economist or manager has to deal with, like how will be produced, what will be produced, and for whom any product to be produced. Since there are scarce resources and so much wants and desire of human being, so if there is a situation of scarcity, then every time an economist is facing different type of economic questions, economic problems, like what product he should be produced, or which process he must be follow, or to whom their production must be there. So what is the process, what is the product or service, and who are our customers? These are the mainly three different economic problem or economic question where economist has deal every time. And economics would be most uninteresting subject if resources were unlimited. Suppose there are so much resources and there is no scarcity, then there is no scope of study of economics, and so there is no involvement of any decision making. So if there is the study of economics, it is due to such scarcity where there are limited resources, but there are unlimited wants and desire from the side of human beings. So one can study economics to deal with, to allocate with that scarce resources to satisfy every time individual wants and desires. If we are going to categorize economics, then economics can be divided into two broad categories. One is macroeconomics and second is microeconomics. As per the name macro is big and micro is teeny. So if there is the study of overall economy, like India economy, then all study of economics will be called as macroeconomics. And in macroeconomics, there are different aggregates such as GNP, inflation, GDP, income. There are so many aggregates which have been studying in macroeconomics. We already deal with such aggregates in a previous module. If there is a GNP, full form of GNP is gross national product, and this is the whole whole income from the production or selling of product or services by the citizen of India, as well as those citizens who are residing in foreign countries but contributing their income to the India economy. Inflation, which is mainly due to the change in CPI or WPI and other factors. So if there is a study of macroeconomics, then this is the overall study of economy, not only India, but different country has the different aggregates in terms of GNP, inflation as well. And all countries are engaging itself for study their whole economy with the help of macroeconomics. Microeconomics deals especially for individuals. Individuals means individual entrepreneurs, individual businessmen, individual production people who are running different firms. And if there is the economy, if economist has to deal with of firm and individual, then these type of economics are considered under microeconomics. So microeconomics deals with individual actors in the economy, such as firms and individuals. There is no study of whole country. We have to understand also that different aggregates level like GNP, inflation, GDP are considered in the study of macroeconomics, but hidden in the aggregate data are changes in output of a number of individual firms. How macroeconomics aggregates calculated, it all calculation will be depend upon different economic element or economic aggregate data of microeconomics only. If there are no firms or individual activity in any economy, then how government can use these indicators to calculate countries aggregate like GNP, GDP, inflation or income. So all time microeconomics aggregate data will helpful to calculate different aggregate levels of variables for macroeconomics. So with the help of microeconomics, we are moving forward managerial economics. This is the main objective to study in this module, that what is managerial economics. Managerial economics can be thought of as applied microeconomics. What we defined microeconomics? Microeconomics deals with individual or firms. Means all the economy which relates to individuals and firms. So if there is applied microeconomics, then we have the concept of managerial economics. We have no macroeconomics concept under managerial economics. Managerial economics can be thought only upon microeconomics, and it focuses on the interaction of firms and individuals in markets. A close relationship between management and economics has led to the development of managerial economics. There are two words jointly form managerial economics. One side is management and second side is economics. Management is actually what is the plan and control upon different employees of organization to fulfill the pre-specified goal, that all are considered under management. Management can be defined as coordination, or management can be defined as a process. So overall, management infused with economics develops managerial economics. So there is a close relationship between management and economics that are responsible to develop managerial economics. And managerial economics is used by firms to improve their profitability. Means in managerial economics, person has to manage with the help of economics. So managerial economics, why it is used? It is used by firms to improve their profitability as well as efficiency in their premises. There are different scope of managerial economics, and study of managerial economics essentially involves the analysis of certain major subjects. What's these subjects? These are the business firm and its objectives. Managerial economics will define under business firm, and it will correlate with different objectives of the firm. Like if objective of the firm is quality production with low pricing, then all the managerial economics concept can be applied to that firm and to achieve firm's objectives. Managerial economics deals with demand analysis, estimation, and forecasting. Demand analysis we will study in our syllabus as well, and estimation and forecasting are the other elements which are studied under managerial economics. Production and cost analysis. Production and cost analysis includes all the production planning which must be efficient to reduce production cost and finally achieve more benefits. So managerial economics helps to managers in terms of production planning, as well as to know different type of cost and cost concepts which are very helpful to analyze different cost concepts. Pricing theories and policy. Managerial economics will help managers to set different pricing of the produced product or services. A profit analysis. Profit is the major objective of any firm, because firm is actually an organization which has profit making sense. If there is no profit making, then there is no consideration of any firm. So firm first objective is to make profit, and managerial economics will help for a different type of profit analysis. Capital busting. Capital busting is very important in terms of daily production planning, what would be the different expenses in daily productions. It may be in terms of raw material, in terms of labors, or in terms of machinery. That all can be considered under such planning of finance, that is capital budgeting. And capital budgeting will efficient only when there is some pre planning of production in any firm. Competition. Managerial economics helps to study different type of market competition. We already know that there are four major market structure, like uh, monopoly, perfect competition, oligopoly, and monopolistic competition. These are the market structure which is actually responsible for different competitions between different product producer or service deliverers. So competition is also one of the major scope of managerial economics. Actually, these all scope are consider under the syllabus of managerial economics. If any student has to study different units in managerial economics, especially from the side of management students or the engineering student and others, so they have to study these scope that are indicated in this slide as per their syllabus of managerial economics. These are different definitions of managerial economics, very important in terms of defining managerial economics in different ways. McNair and Merriam, they stated managerial economics as it is the use of economic modes of how to analyze business situations. Managerial economics has been stated by McNair and Merriam as use of economic modes. Economic modes are a different scope we have uh, learned in previous slide. These are the mode economic mode of thought which is applied under different business situation and its analysis. Professor Ivan G. Douglas, what's his consideration? He stated managerial economics as managerial economics is concerned with the application of economic principles and methodologies to the decision-making process within the firm or organization under the condition of uncertainty. Mainly, he included uncertainty. There is situation of uncertainty because one can't know uh, when there may different external environment changes, when there may different competitors arrive, when there is uh, uh, scarcity of resources. These all are arising under uncertainty. So managerial economics is concerned with the application of economic principle of methodologies. All the economic principle and methodology are applied for decision making process by any manager or economist in any firm or organization. And these all are applied under condition of uncertainty, because we are in uncertain situation, and in this uncertain economy it is important that different economic principles and methodology must be applied appropriately to make good decisions, so that firm can be able to proficient or make profits every time. Organizations and its forms. Uh, an organization is a firm produces a good or service for sale, and it plays a central role in theory of managerial economics. We have the concept of organization. Organization can be considered as a firm. We have clear concept that uh, all organization cannot consider as firm, but all firm are considered under an organization. So we can define organization as a firm uh, which are producing a good or services for sale and for profit making. This all organization plays a central role in theory of managerial economics. What's the microeconomics concept? Microeconomics deals especially to organizations, to firm, to individuals. So any organization plays a central role in theory of managerial economics, and it changes if we have the objective of any organization, then objective and function of any organization, then the organization changes hired inputs into sellable output to make some profits. Means organization will be uh, considered to arrange all resources in terms of material, in terms of labor, in terms of uh, capital. When these all are arranged as inputs, then objective and function of any organization is to make output, to produce output which can sell in market later for make some profits. And if we have to classify organizations, organizations are classified under four categories. These are private organization, uh, especially run by private players, public organization, which is government, state government, or central government organized and managed organization, joint sector, in which both private and government has some management to run that organization, and non-profit organization. Non-profit organizations are uh, other organizations which are not considered in these above three organizations. So non-profit organizations are itself for many type of services, but since the name is here,
NGOs are also that type of
yes, there may be
NGOs are
yes, yes, it can be NGO, but if NGO has not profit, then how it can run every time? If there are the presence of NGO, then it is also considered that there is some uh, profit as well, so that NGO are also running in this current economy. And if we are considering different organization which can't non be said as non-profit, then we can consider it as like a hospital, like schools, which are considered under non-profit organization if these are government undertaking. And if we are considering NGOs, then some profit is also making from the NGO side, but still we are considering NGO as non-profit organization. Cost is one of the scope of managerial economics, and how we have to study costing in monetary economics. Actually, the study of cost is important in the study of managerial economics because it provides a basis for two different decisions made by managers, whether to produce or not, and If to be produced by managers, then how much to produce? In managerial economics, what the study of cost, the study of cost will depend upon these two important decisions, which uh, have been taken under consideration by managers in any organization. At first, whether to produce or not means uh, organization has to produce or not. At first, organization has to decide with a different economic situation. Not all products can be achieved for the production. If there may not any profit making from that production of the produces or services, then why there is need of production by that organization. So at first, one decision must be taken by managers whether to produce or not. And if she decided that there is some production to produce any item, then how much to produce? It is again the second question upon which any manager has to take decision. Because if if manager cannot take such decisions like how much to produce so that the benefit can be achieved by organization, it is the major question in managerial economics. If manager has to produce only 10 items and manager already invested in terms of different resources uh, uh, as per the 1,000 item prices, then if manager has to produce only 10 items, then where is the profit making? There is no profit making in this situation. So manager has to decide it first. If there is some situation that if organization has to produce more items in comparison to less investment, then only that produces can be considered for the production. So if we have the definition of cost, then cost is the amount expenditure, it may be actual or notional, incurred on or attributable to a thing. Like if we are going to purchase any book, suppose the book's price is 150, then the pricing cost for any student is actually rupees 150. This is the cost to that purchaser, that student. There may different cost to the book publisher, but what I want to explain that if any student purchased a book of rupees 150, then rupees 150 will be the pricing cost of student, and cost of that book may different from the producer side. Again, if we have one example of any wooden table, then if any wooden table price is rupees 1,000, suppose, but there are so many resources which have been included as raw material, as machinery, as labor, as rent, it all may consider under the different inputs of that output wooden table. Suppose there is the cost of wood, if considered, that that is 500, and labor cost is 300, and suppose there is some rent of that premises where it is the situation that labor is making that wood at that premises, the rent is 150, then total cost of that wooden table will be 500 plus 300 plus 150. So the cost of wooden table of that producer will be 950. And if he is selling that wooden table by making 50 rupees profit, then we can consider as price of that wooden table as 1000. So if we have actual expenditure or notional expenditure, what I explained in example of wooden table, there is some rent also which can't see. We can't see that some rent is also uh, to be included by economist in that cost of wooden table. So that cost is the amount expenditure. It may be actual, what's the books pricing cost to the student, that is actual, or notional, what we explained in the example of wooden table, incurred on or attributable to a thing, incurred on or attributable a thing like that book or like that wooden table. If we are considering different elements of cost, there are three types of elements of cost: material cost, labor cost, and expenses. Material cost are again divided under direct and indirect material cost. Direct material cost, like which are directly used to produce any item, like stored material, like raw material, are considered under direct material. Indirect material, which are not directly used for producing any output, like stationery, file, paper, pen, these are indirect material. Direct labor, those labor who are directly produce the item are considered under direct labor, and those who are not directly attributable to labor, but indirectly they are selling any product, then these are considered under indirect labor. For example, salesmen or other people who are not involving in production but still employees of that organization. Expenses, direct expenses, which are again directly associated with the production, like machine, and indirect, which are not directly associated with the production, like rent, lighting. And all three indirect elements are called as overheads.